Okay, let's get started. Tonight we're gonna do something a little bit different. I know I've been playing some retro games so far, but this weekend is the 30th anniversary of the game Betrayal at Krondor, a game that is near and dear to my heart for many reasons. So I do want to stream Betrayal at Krondor, and I intend to this Saturday. So we'll talk more about it then. But tonight, I just wanted to try out this, what is being called a spiritual successor. Let me bring it up. Call of Saregnar. And I've long kind of wondered why. I mean, Betrayal at Krondor is very widely acknowledged to be a great game, one of the best RPGs of all time. So why is it that there doesn't seem to be an obvious influence, It doesn't seem to be any RPGs that really look like Betrayal at Krondor or play like it. But this game promises to be that, and it's being developed by I'm not gonna try to let's see here. Let's just bring up. We've got the developer here, Damjan Mozetic, I think. He's an Eastern European. I read where I think Slovenian. Please forgive me, Damjan, if I'm sure I'm butchering your name and I might not have the country correct. But yeah, I salute you. The game looks good so far from what I've seen, but I haven't played the demo yet. I've been saving it for a special occasion, I guess. I don't know, or perhaps just closer to release. I don't think we have an exact date for release yet. Yeah, so I think, well, first off, I'll put into the chat their website. So if anyone wants to check that out, I encourage it. Yeah, the game looks good. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to playing this demo. So I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I've got it in Steam. It's a demo. It's free to play. Oh, I don't have the rights. One moment. Great music. Kind of loud though. Let me turn that down. I'm definitely digging this music. It's not quite the same as Betrayal at Krondor's music. But yeah, that's better. A little quieter. Alright. Everything looks good. Let's get started.
It was a late night in the small town of Romar. Hewin, an auspicious student of magic, and Sam, his roguish friend, decided to liven up the dullness of the road by spending the night drinking and gambling at the Yew Tree Inn. After observing the two playing and winning a number of games against the locals, a gambler approached their table and challenged them to a game of takla. It was then that fortune seemed to abandon them, as the two friends lost most of their money and many valuables playing against the man. Sam was no stranger at cards, and while he had no proof, deep inside he knew his opponent must have been cheating. At that point, the young rogue confronted the gambler, and in the struggle that ensued, an accusing card fell from the man's shirt. Realizing that he couldn't bluff his way out of the situation, the gambler felled Sam to the ground, grabbed the pouch of winnings, and dashed towards the exit. In the chaos, Huan tried to stop the retreating gambler, but only managed to trip on his friend and abruptly join him on the floor. Meanwhile, startled by the shouts in the common room, Dina, the owner of the tavern, dashed in and found the two youngsters lying atop one another, being the object of merriment of a drunken, cackling audience.
Yeah, I was concerned about that. Thank you for letting me know. I was worried that might be it. Might have gotten a little too quiet. Maybe I should. Oh, I can't get to the options right now. Well, it doesn't seem they have voice acting at this point, so I guess I'll do it. Dina, what in Almaris's name happened here? And where's that bloody gambler? He's yet to pay for the lodging and food. Huon, gone. We caught him cheating at cards and he ran away. We tried. Dina, gone? And why didn't you two go after him? Why didn't anyone go after him? The room fell silent as Dina's icy gaze traveled face to face across the room. Propping himself upright, Sam assessed the condition of his bleeding nose by carefully bending it first one way, then the other. Satisfied that it wasn't broken, he looked up at Dina, who stared at him with a mix of disbelief and rage. Dina, I was gone for 1 minute, Sam. Sam, I know, but he had a third Blue Lady card hidden within his shirt. I knew he couldn't have been that good of a player. Not even the gamblers of Varumus could have. Dina, enough, Sam. He's gone because of you, and I don't want to hear any excuses. You'll be paying for both, him and yourself. Huon, the man took the coin, Sam. Sam, Dina, he what? I'm sorry, what can I say? He must have taken our money after he bashed my nose in. Dina, I see. Then you either find your money and pay up, or you'll be playing here to cover the expenses. Every night for a week, starting tomorrow. A week? Come on, be reasonable, Dina. I can't be stuck in this hole of a town for a whole week. And where are we going to sleep? Do we at least get a room to stay in? Dina, no you don't. And since you can't afford staying, I suggest you start looking for the man now. I'm closing for the night. Sam, Dina, sweetie, you can't be serious. 'Tis the middle of the night. We'll never find him out there in the dark. Dina, you're right. Here, take these torches. You'll pay for them once you catch the gambler and get your money back. Good night. Sam, but Dina... It's cold. It's cold. Alright, I will... Okay. Shh. Let's turn up the master volume. Maybe just lower... Turn it to maybe here. And lower the music's volume. A little bit more. Think about that. That seems right. Let's see what other options we have here. This is nice that they've got different sliders for the different types of sounds you would get in a game. I very much like that. Controls, keyboard, gamepad. Oh, you can play with a gamepad. That's nice. I'll stick with keyboard. Okay. Inventory rest, spellcasting, journal, map, precursor. Ooh, quick save. Graphics. This seems good. Gameplay? No. No gameplay options. For the demo, at least. Okay. I'll quick save. Nice. Always like a good quick save. So this is a little bit different from Betrayal of Krondor. I've got free look with the mouse. This town looks good, though. Oh. Right. Sam. Should have known. I was being cheated. Never lost that much money in one night, or ever. Huon. Neither did I, Sam. We should have listened to Arthur while we had the chance. Sam. 'Twas your royal cousin's fault for buying us drinks in the first place, you know. Hewen, you're drunk. As I recall, he wanted us all to go to his cellar. You know, one with wine and dried meats. Well, now all we have are these bland road rations, which I have no desire to eat ever again. Sam. Yes, I get the point. Look, there's nothing we can do now but track down that man and recover my money. Hewen. Our money. Sam. Yeah. Then we visit your cousin at that fancy manor home of his. You check out his book on magic tricks, and then we finally leave this accursed place. Deal? Hewen. Damn it, Sam. That book is what got me traveling all the way up here in the first place. If it is truly an ancient book on magic, like Arthur claims, it's like finding a damn treasure. I'd lose 10 times the money I lost tonight, just for a chance to peek in its pages. Sam. Calm down, your magicianship. You'll get your chance. But first things first. Where do we start our search? That son of a whore could be anywhere by now. Hewen. I don't know. We should probably find some place to spend the night, or camp out of town. No point in knocking on people's houses in the middle of the night. Sam. Sounds reasonable, but maybe someone's still up and saw something. Your call. No, we gotta bother everyone. We gotta knock on all the doors. Hoisting up the bucket that was tied to a thick cord, Hewen drank greedily, then washed the road-accumulated grime off his face and hands. While he wouldn't be exactly court-worthy, at least he was somewhat presentable now. I wonder if that's a factor. You know, that was an interesting aspect of the game Kingdom Come Deliverance, that you kind of had to, like, keep up your appearances. You had to pay mind to the state of your clothing and your hygiene, or otherwise people would treat you differently. I wonder if they're trying to implement some of that in this game. But this house does seem to have a light on, so I don't think we're going to be waking them up. A man came from around the back of the house. Obviously startled by bumping into Hewen all of a sudden, he went for the knife at his belt. Hold, Hewen yelled, raising his hands to show he was unarmed, then added in a hurry. We didn't mean to scare you. We're looking for a man that stayed at the inn. A gambler. Bastard took our money. Finally convinced he was not in danger, the man relaxed, but replied angrily, Can't one take a piss in the night without bumping into someone? Bah, don't matter. Yes, I did see a man running past me house just a moment before. Did you see where he went? Hewen asked expectantly. South, out of town. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go back to sleep. Journal updated. Nice. See, now the original Betrayal at Krondor did not have a journal. Could have really used one, to be honest. The main plot was easy enough to kind of follow, but they also had like some side quests. And if you forgot any details of that side quest, like for instance, having it in the first place, then you're kind of out of luck. Yeah. I like this journal. I guess we'll read it real quick. We got cheated at cards. Worst of all, the gambling bastard took all of our winnings and disappeared into the night. Now Dina, the owner of the Yew Tree Inn, wants us to recover the money and pay his expenses on top of ours. One Savalon? Total. What have I got myself into? This was supposed to be an uneventful trip to see the book Arthur acquired, not a manhunt. Man in the village apparently saw someone flee south in the night. This must be our man. This is an RPG. I don't really expect that if I waste time, the guy will get away. Could be wrong about that, but I'm just gonna kind of explore a bit. I see some lights on over there. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna save the game, but let's see what happens if I knock on someone's door. Whoever lives here must be sleeping at this hour. Okay. Let's return in the morning, said Hewen. Okay. Actually being polite. How disappointing. Ooh, this manor. Or is it a church? Looks like manor house, I guess. Lights are on. I am not going to bang on. This is cousin Arthur's, apparently. I am not going to bang on my cousin's door at this ungodly hour, said Hewen. Let us return in the morning. Alright. Let's check the well. Uh-huh. Yeah, maybe there is hygiene factors. We're as clean as we'll ever be apart from taking a bath, Hewen said. Let's go. Interesting. I'm kind of clicking on a variety of things because in Betrayal of Krondor, you could find secrets by, um, clicking on bushes, tree stumps, all sorts of things. Alright, I guess we'll just get to it. Supposed to go south. This is probably going to teach us basic combat. If we can go too far south. Actually, I want to look at the map. Ooh, is that a temple? Yep. Cool. Looks good. Nice waterfall. The water was refreshing. Hewen was glad of the drinking posts the king had erected throughout the kingdom. They were a sign that the water was clean and safe to drink. You can tell these trees are what's the word? Sprites, I think. They're 2D as they kind of turn as you're going around them. That's fine. This game is absolutely intended to be retro inspired, so certainly can't fault it for using old school graphical techniques. The 3D definitely looks a lot better than Betrayal of Krondor in sort of objective terms. Whereas Betrayal of Krondor was built on an engine that was designed for flight simulators, which is kind of funny. I wouldn't say it's a foregone conclusion that they're asleep. Is there a point where the game will tell me you've gone too far, you missed your quarry? I've got a run option, I'm running. I actually had those games too, the flight simulators. That's how I grave. Strange. A grave outside the temple grounds, Ewan said. That's how I learned about Betrayal of Krondor, actually. I actually read the books, like the Feist books. I'll get back to that in a second. The door was ajar. Signaling for silence, Hewen crept towards the house and carefully peeked through the gap. The inside was dark and quiet, with pieces of furniture scattered and nothing of any real value in sight. No one seemed to have been living here for some time. Still, careful not to divulge their presence to whoever might be listening, he slowly pushed the door inward, but the old door protested with the leg. There goes our silent approach. Shall we? Hewen offered, opening the door fully, but as soon as he took a step in, a deathly stench invaded his nostrils, and he fought the urge to throw up. Lying in the corner face down, in the ashes of the fire, was a man, his clothes bloody and soiled. His back was pierced by an iron rod, probably a fire iron, and two of the man's fingers had been cut off and cast into the pit. Is that our man? Asked Sam, his mouth and nose covered with his sleeve. Hewen nodded. I think so. At that point, Sam pushed past him and took a closer look at the body. It is him, he said. but there's no money on the body whatsoever. Whoever did this picked him clean. Suddenly, the sound of a sword leaving its scabbard came from outside, and a rough, mean voice announced, "You two, drop your weapons on the ground and walk out, slowly." Hewen turned towards the door, taking a step back, and Sam straightened, instinctively going for his weapons. As if making a point, a second sound followed, a crossbow string being drawn and locking. Let's, let's not make them wait, Hugh, Sam said as he concealed a throwing knife in his sleeve. Got any fine spell to distract the bolt-firing whoreson? I do, Hewen replied, a lump forming in his throat. I never used it to do harm before. It is forbidden, he added gravely, and closed his eyes in concentration. Ooh, combat! Alright. So we've got our... we're controlling the rogue. We've got melee, we've got ranged, defend, rest. No magic for him. Let's go get up in the face of the crossbowman. Okay, now we got our wizard. This is just like Betrayal at Krondor. No range attack, but he does have magic. Let's see what his magic is. Rannor's Gift. The caster directs the godly powers towards healing himself or another. Well, we got that. No healing. I wonder if this, like, these magic words, apparently. Anga, Anmo, Yizra. I have to know that for some reason. Fiery Embrace. Aku etmo et uk. Causes the air around the enemy to vibrate so fast that it heats up to the point that it burns the target. Yes, that's what we want. Okay, let's see. So this is like Betrayal of Krondor. I'm committing a certain amount of endurance to this spell. How much endurance do we have? I don't know. Let's just do, yeah, like this nice moderate amount. Let me get the crossbowmen. Crossbowmen are annoying. Ooh, ouch. After him, yeah, stab him. Alright, okay, I see how much endurance. So I still have a lot, actually. Let's hit him again. Burn, sucker. Uh-oh. Swordsman's after my wizard. Yeah, cut up that crossbowman. Oh, yep. Just like Betrayal of Krondor, I cannot cast spells while on enemies next to me. Ow! Oh, that was not good. Put down that crossbowman, please. Maybe I'll defend. Got him down. Shoot, I should have demolished the guy with the magic while I had the chance. Ah! Okay, this isn't going great. Okay. Crossbowman's down. Alright. Let's just try and stay alive until our buddy can come help. Oh boy. That's not going well. Oh no! Okay. This could be going better. Ooh, got him good with that one. Oh yeah, you're done for. Hewen stood in silence, staring at the bodies of the fallen. Just moments before, those bandits were trying to kill him, and now they lay motionless at his feet. Sam, do not dwell on it, Hugh. It was either us or them. Huh, excuse me. All this voice acting is getting to me. Okay. It's either us or them, Hewan. I know, but still, I feel filthy. We could have, I don't know, negotiated or something. Sam, the only thing you'd have negotiated would be a trip to the nearest burial ground. If they'd find our bodies, that is. Now get over here and help me search them. They've got to have our money on them. Indeed. Time to take everything. Yes, loot. Should we just, like, how do I take all? It's funny that I just recalled that woman gave us torches and I didn't use a single one. Here's the, okay, so I open up the inventory screen, so we see some things. It's just got a simple staff, some torches, and rations. Oh, very nice. Just like Betrayal. The inspiration is really worn on the sleeve here, which I appreciate. So we can see the descriptions. Maybe I'll read them another time. Need to save my voice. Near death. That's not good. That's not good. I kind of blew that first fight a little bit. That's another thing I appreciate. This game is not holding my hand. We see. Oh right. I was going to say that this. It appears that there's no skills. Like you start out with no skill, but this is actually probably due to being near death. Look at Sam. Yep, Sam the rogue. He's got skills in melee, ranged, haggle, perform. Yeah, he's got a mix of skills. No magic, of course. Artifice. I don't know what artifice is. All these skills look familiar, except artifice. Hmm, interesting. Let's see which sword is better, though. Strength, accuracy, 6 plus skill, or... Oh, okay. This short sword is definitely better than what I've got. Switch that out. Hmm. Throwing knives, there's no damage or accuracy um, attributes. Alright. I guess we can go back to the inn. We found the gambler dead in an old, isolated house south of the temple. He must have been killed by the brigands who ambushed us as we were examining the body. I never killed a man before. Sam said to not dwell on it, that it was either us or them. I know he's right, but still, I wish there had been some other way. You still haven't killed anyone. Sam killed them both. Guess I should go back to that inn, because now I'm in... the wizard's in bad shape. I wonder if maybe I should reload and do that over again. Coming back from near-death state in Betrayal of Krondor is a real pain, which I guess is appropriate. I mean, if you get critically injured in real life, you're not going to bounce back from that, not right away. And yet still we can run. Come on, Hewan. May have taken a nearly mortal injury, but let's pick up the pace. Can't seem to look around. There's things we can do. Let's try this person. The man motioned for them to sit. Selt, he said. Name's Naban. I take care of the Lord's vines and the eels. You're not from around here, he said, matter of fact. No, we're just passing through, Hewen replied. Ah, travelers. Well, can't give you much advice since I rarely venture outside Romar, but I'd be sure to pay close attention to what I eat on the road. Rations, no matter how well prepared, can go bad, you know. They went on for a while about various subjects, but at last they thanked the man for the advice and bid him farewell. Hewen approached the table. The man looked up from his food and said, Blessings to you. Usually I'd be up for a game of cards, but I'll just have some peace and quiet today. Okay. The soldier was drunk. Salt, brother! You wouldn't have a few coins on you, would you? Asked the man, his gaze pointing somewhat towards Hewen. Began Hewen, but Sam interjected. He doesn't, my good man. Oh, was all the soldier said, and returned to his ale. Alright, let's try playing. He struggled. Let's hear this bad playing. That's let me just read this first. He struggled, despite Sam's best efforts to translate the song that sounded so right in his head onto the delicate instrument. He knew he did rather poorly. You're lucky the patrons are in high spirits and demand I pay you. The innkeeper grimaced as he produced 2 Oshen and 3 Leshen and passed it to Sam. So we did okay here, actually, because we got some money. This is another idea or concept borrowed from Betrayal of Krondor. You could do this and attempt to play and make some money. It was a fun thing to see the progress, or to hear the progress, I should say, not see it. Because you would start out and you'd try playing and you'd do very poorly. You could, and the game, they would actually play it. Like for you, the player, you could hear it. You could hear someone not playing, not playing very well. But then eventually, if you keep at it, your characters get, or at least one of them gets very good. So by the end, you can go into an inn. You get to hear the music as it's meant to be heard. That's very nice. Dina, unless you have the money you owe me, Sam, you better walk right out. It's 1 Savalon and not a Leshen less. Sam, how about I give you the money I owe you, and on top of that, I tell you a little story of how we got it. Dina, you serious? Truth to tell, I didn't expect to ever see you again. Was it much trouble finding the gambler? Sam, let's just say it got troublesome after we found him. He holed himself up in an old house down south, outside the village, but apparently we weren't the only ones looking for him. Anyways, care to buy us a round of ale, Dina? I'll be hard-pressed to finish the tale if I don't lubricate my tongue first. Dina, alright, this better be good. Hewen said in amazement throughout the recount. There were no lies to Sam's words. The way he told the tale made it feel like a completely different, much more heroic deed than the slaughter it actually was. Sam made sure to speak loud enough for all to hear and appreciate what he had to tell, if there was anything dull to the account. He found a way to make it exciting, and when the story hit the high points, he elevated it to court-worthy poetry. When he was finally done, he drained his cup and slammed it on the table, making the patrons who followed the tale jump in their seats. Dina sat speechless, her lips parted in awe. Yeah, I find it hard to believe you two did what you did, but I'd be glad to listen to that tale again. Sam. Some other time, dear. Me and Hugh have urgent business to attend at his cousin's. I promise you, I'll have more adventures to share next time I pass through these lovely parts. Hewan, thanks for the ale, Dina. Dina, think nothing of it, Hewan. And Sam, do come by again, right? Sam, I promised, didn't I? Alright. I wonder if I can get rooms at the cousin's place. I do need that, though. But Sam. See you around, Dina. We must be on our way. Yeah. Safe travels to both of you. Let's see if I can't get a free room. Some chance. Let me... Oh, there's only quick save? Oh... it's fine. I guess I can just restart the whole thing. Interesting. These flowers here. That's nice. Got some canes in the back. What if I tried this door? Sam knocked and waited. When it was obvious no one was going to open the door, Sam said, "Let's not waste any more time here. Let's leave." Sam, so this is where the generously full cellar is. Hewan, yes. Too bad we won't have time to see it, since you are in such a hurry to leave town. Sam, you can't just leave town on an empty stomach. And as I've heard, noble courtesy dictates to treat your guests well. Arthur, I knew I wasn't just hearing things. Father said it was the dog barking, but I recognize a rascal when I hear one. Sam, you're offending me, my lord. Hewan, it's good to see you again, cousin. You won't believe what happened since the night at the inn. Arthur, did you find the gambler? Hewan, you know about the gambler? Arthur, it's a small town. News travels fast. So, Dina has been asking if I've seen you two, although she won't admit it. She's been feeling a little guilty for chasing you out in the middle of the night. As she should. Sam, oh, is that so? Arthur, just don't go telling her I told you. You know how she is. Noble or not, she'll have my head on a spit if she learns I've opened my mouth. Sam, don't worry, we never heard anything from you. Hewan, I can't vouch for him, but I'll keep quiet. Anyway, we did find the man. He lies dead in an old isolated house south of the temple. Arthur, you killed him? Hewan, no, but we killed those who did. 2 bandits who skewered the gambler ambushed us. I'm sure one of the gods must have been looking after us, or we'd be dead in their stead. Arthur, is that so? Well, I'm glad to see you two alive and well. So you are telling me that I've got 3 bodies to bury now? Sam, well, next time we plan on leaving bodies on our way, we'll bring shovels. Arthur, I'm sure you will. Come, you can give me the details over a cup of wine. After that, Hewan, I'm sure you'd be interested to see that book. They spent a good hour going over the details of the recent events, Hewan explaining and Sam filling in colorful and mostly unnecessary details. When they were done, Arthur suggested they leave Sam to enjoy the wine, while he and Hewan would go into the study to see the book the young mage was so eager to examine. While Arthur leaned on the fireplace sipping wine, Hewan dug into the complex passages of the tome. He spent well over an hour going through the difficult language, but finally he put down the book and said, "Do you know what this is?" "All I know is that it's written in the old language, but I've never studied it. All books on magic are written in Arnai, so only those who have been learning magic can understand it and not hurt themselves in the process." Arthur took another sip. "Go on." "The title is Accounts from Samaris and Beyond. As far as I'm aware, there is only one such copy in existence. That one resided at the Indara University." Arthur straightened. "But surely there must be more copies out there, right?" Hewan took a deep breath as he closed the large leather-bound volume. "What you have here is a manuscript inked down by Fan himself. A forbidden manuscript, too dangerous a book to copy. Arthur, now listen closely. This book can get you into a lot of trouble just for knowing about it, let alone having it. I do not dare taking it onto the road, so as much as it pains me to do so, I must leave it in your custody." Arthur, "You're just going to leave it? Here?" Human, "I must reach Endara as soon as possible and inform the head mage. He will send someone to retrieve the book. You must not tell anyone about it. Understood?" Arthur, "Can't say I'm thrilled at the idea, but perhaps you're right. I will hide it in a safe place and wait for the mages to pick it up." Human, "Don't worry. I will explain to them how you got hold of it. It shouldn't bother you. Just keep it safe." Arthur, "I will. Is it secret? Is it safe?" All right. Sweet quest. We paid R and the gambler's debt to Dina. Now I can finally go and talk to Arthur about that book. The book Arthur purchased is Delaphan's Forbidden Book. I must depart south towards Indara at once and let the head mage know about it. I can't trust anyone to do it in my stead. All right. Well, I really need to stay at the end, unfortunately. What happens if I just knock the door again? Arthur, "You're back." That's it. "You're back." "Yes. Bye." All right, let's get some rooms. Dina, Sam. "Dina, do you have a room for us?" Dina, "Let me check." All right. "I only have one room left," the innkeeper said. "For 5 Ashen, it is yours for the night. What do you say?" Which one's Ashen? Sure. Ooh. I think Ashen was the middle currency. See you around, Dina. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, cool. Weather effects. Nice. He's still near death. Damn. This could put me... I may want to restart this real quick. Let me see. Maybe the temple can help. So you see here... Well, actually, kind of looks like it's not nearly as punitive as Betrayal at Krondor's a near-death condition, but still, I'm sure that's the last thing I want my guy to be at in the beginning of the damn game. River. And we can see what the temples are like. Let's try the well. Just having some water. He was lost in thought. After exchanging a few words with the man, Hewin learned his name was Numau, and that he was a farmer from the outskirts of Romar. He told them that his wife disappeared 2 weeks ago after going to fetch some water from the river. He's been praying to tear nonsense, so she may return safely home again. No one's found any trace of her, he told Hewin. The whole village joined the search. Even Lord Longcoast's dogs couldn't catch her scent. She simply vanished, the man said, bursting into tears. Hewin stayed for a while longer, consoling the man as best he knew, and he excused himself and returned to Sam. His wife vanished, no trace of her anywhere. Maybe she just left him. No, I don't believe that's the case. The whole thing feels wrong, Sam shrugged. Is this a side quest by any chance? No indication of that. Hewin. Blessings, lady. I don't usually approach someone this way, but I couldn't help but wonder if it was Ormanus I smelled on your person. That's a classic pickup line. Yep, always ask if it was Ormanus smelled on her. Works every time. 60% of the time it works every time. Lynn. Blessings to you, sir. You do have a keen sense of smell, I must give you that. It's this bundle here what you've been smelling. Hewin. It certainly brought back memories. Are you by chance willing to sell some? I could surely make good use of it in our travels. Lynn. I'm sorry, but I swore an oath to see it delivered to the priests of Hoalia. But why the interest, if I may ask? An herbalist, perhaps? Can't say I often run into those who would have heard of, let alone know the herb. Hewin. No, I'm not exactly a herbalist, but I attended many herbology lectures in Endara, so I know my way around plants if need be. Lynn. I see. Well, it's good to meet someone with a keen eye for herbs. If you're in need to purchase some, you're welcome to my shop, Nature's Gifts, in Ergenden. My name's Lynn. I'll be sure to give you a fair price if you visit. Hewin. Thank you for the offer, Lynn. If the road ever takes us to Ergenden, we'll be sure to stop by. Oh, and I am Hewin. It's been a real pleasure meeting you. Lynn. The pleasure is all mine. Let's ask about Hoalia. I guess. Hewin. I thought the temple of our luck goddess was far off in Ingaroth. Are you planning to travel there all by yourself? Surely a courier could safely deliver those herbs in your stead. Lynn. You'd think that would have been the soundest choice, but it's been weeks since I last saw a courier carriage pass through Ergenden. It's like our little village has suddenly gone off the map. Meanwhile, I pray to the god of travelers for good fortune. I was assured the courier still passes through here, so it shouldn't be long before I return to my shop. Hewin. Goodbye, Lynn. I guess I have to go in this door. A servant beckoned them to sit. The High Priestess is currently in prayer, so if you would be so kind to wait, I will let her know of your presence. Time dragged by, especially for Sam, who was now nervously pacing up and down the hall, stopping at the door several times, listening for whatever was happening beyond that boundary into the holy realm that only priests had access to. This is maddening, he said, while descending the few steps into the Asment. But as soon as he touched the last step, a large door opened and a tall woman wearing priestly garments stepped through. To those present she bowed her head. Then she smiled at Sam. I am sorry if the wait has caused you any grief. Our god has been restless recently, and relies much on our priestly chants. Hewin stood up, and Sam tried to say something, but words eluded him, so he cast his gaze downwards in silence. It was Hewin who addressed the holy woman. We apologize, High Priestess. There's no dire need behind our visit. We simply wanted to talk. We can talk, she replied, her eyes lined with weariness. Let us be quick, as I have other matters to attend to. During the session with the priestess of Tinan, they touched many topics about the god himself. They also discussed the recent events that have befallen them, including the matter with the gambler. balance of power is being tipped over. Like I have said before, our god is troubled, and we have received note of similar disruptions from other temples as well, said the priestess gravely. You should be wary on your travels. You should be wary on your travels, particularly you, Huon, for I feel you are embarking on a journey much longer than you have planned for. The priestess seemed to contemplate something, then she spoke to Sam. Within you, I can feel a similar disturbance, much alike to the one that has affected our temple home, but it is early to guess the nature of it. I will tell. Honestly, she took their hands and said, Look out for each other, for I see danger on your way. She then excused herself and bid them farewell. Sam, I really don't like that woman, Hugh. It felt like she looked right through me. Got goosebumps all over. Ewan, yes, I felt it too, but she is a high priestess after all. Those close to the gods often possess special talents. Sam, yeah, talents to make one shit his pants. Let's go. I don't want to stay here one moment longer. Well, that's unfortunate because I was kind of hoping for maybe some healing. Let me try this again. No. Really? They don't offer any like sort of healing services? That's surprising. Shucks. Maybe I should try the town again, see if there's any shops with maybe some healing herbs or something. Or maybe I should start over. I could probably do all this pretty quickly. I wonder how long this demo actually is. Let's knock on some doors now. House seems abandoned. Should we have a look? Yes. Loot the house. Save for a broken chair and some pieces of pottery scattered on the floor. The house was remarkably empty. This place was looted clean, said Hewan, kicking at the debris. Sam, however, was kneeling and examining a section of the floor with interest. He slid his fingers along the edge of a wooden board, and, as expected, the board gave way. Aha! He exclaimed triumphantly. Lifting a piece of timber, he discovered a small jingly pouch hidden within. Excellent. Take that. Definitely use more money. This looks like it might be a shop. Yeah. I can't really tell with that. Judging by the sign, this is a shop of some kind. Care to enter? Yes. Let's take a look at a shop. First shop I've experienced in this game. This merchant looks kind of annoyed. Welcome, welcome, said the shopkeeper. My name is Fanon Gouet. Gouet? At your service. What would you like to purchase today? Weapons. Well, I can actually... I can sell this. For this Felkian, I can give you 3 leshen, the shopkeeper offered. Let's try haggling. Ooh, nice. 4 leshen, yes. I guess I don't need this crossbow. Let's haggle. Let's keep haggling. Keep haggling. Come on. Oh no, he failed catastrophically. So that's all he has. He just has some junk. This place sucks. Girl. The air smelled of freshly baked pastry. Hewen's knocking was answered by a shushing voice within, and he threw a questioning look at Sam. A few seconds later, a rather attractive red-haired lady in her 40s opened the door. Blessings! I haven't seen you around here before. Care to try one of my tarts? I am Nisa, and baking all morning. Well, began Hewen, but he was quickly cut off as Nisa shoved a buttered pastry into his mouth. So, delicious, isn't it? She asked. Then she started pulling at Hewen's sleeve, dragging him inside. Come on, don't be shy, come in. I don't bite. The door closed right into Sam's bewildered face. Time passed, and just as Sam was starting to worry for his friend, the door swooshed open. A blushing Hewen walked out, followed by a rather cheerful Nisa, who stopped at the doorstep. See you again soon, Hewen. I'll have more if you ever stop by again, she said, then winked at Sam and closed the door. Sam's mask of worry slowly faded and turned into a big grin. So, he began. Oh, drop it, Sam. Just let's go. Okay, friendly people. Friendly people in this town. Hewen knocked and waited. When it was obvious no one was going to open the door, Hewen said, Let's not waste any more time here. Let's leave. An elderly man opened the door. I'm sorry, I have something urgent to attend to, but let me give you a little advice, he said. Avoid my neighbor. She's crazy. Having said that, the man bid them close the door. Let's go visit the neighbor. What is this? What is this block? I would think he was talking about Nisa, but no, now we're way down the street. The air tingled. Hewen halted as he approached the little moss-covered house. I'm not sure we should be here. There's magic about this place, but I don't like how alien it feels. Sam wasn't about to argue, so by the time the door cracked open, he was already a dozen feet away. Don't leave, spoke a frail voice from within. 'Tis a rare opportunity to meet a fellow Osmani these days. She paused. Hewen felt that tingling sensation again. She continued, Even if the old ways seem to be lost on you, it doesn't matter. Will you come inside? Hewen was intrigued, but did not move. Of what old ways are you speaking of? He finally asked. Come, let us talk inside, the woman insisted, gesturing them to enter. She opened the door just wide enough to let the boy slip in, then she hurriedly closed it and secured it with a latch. Okay. Too many nosy people out there, you see, all wanting to know too much for their own good. It took a few moments for their eyes to adjust to the dim light of the house, so when the darkness subsided, they found themselves standing in a room stuffed with trinkets of all kinds, weirdly shaped sticks and bones, stones of different colors and patterns, clay pots and hanging herbs, a number of rushlights did little to illuminate the gloomy room. It was Hewen who spoke first. You mentioned the Osmani. I don't think I'm familiar with the term. The woman added some twigs to the almost dying fire and poked at the embers until a small flame burst into life. What they teach Arnayan and Darani? She asked. Hewen replied, They do, and wondered if this strange woman had the power to read minds. He knew the talent existed, but only few mages had it, which made the woman an object of fascination in Hewen's eyes. Doesn't matter. Osmani is an old word for those who practice magic. Did you study at the university too? Hewen ventured, but the woman snorted, shaking her head in reply. I wasn't born in nobility like you were. You seem to know a lot about me. You've been mind reading. This time the woman laughed a rich laugh, to which the tiny flame in the fire put whoosh to life. No, although I admit that would be a nice gift to possess. I simply know who you are, Hewen Teomar, son of Renita. And you, she turned at Sam. She started reaching for his chin, but suddenly retracted her hand as she got burned. You need to go. Both of you. She spoke, her words devoid of any warmth. She hurried to unlatch the door, but gave Sam a wide berth on her way there. Out with you! Out with you! She cried. The boys flew outside, closing behind them with blood. Mysterious. Ooh, something in the journal. Peculiar woman, a witch. Called me Osmani, claimed she really knew me. Okay. It's like irrelevant in the future. soon as Hewan knocked, the heavy door swung open, and a man in his late 50s emerged from the house, his face radiating impatience. Hans. Well, it's about time. I was beginning to worry that you had lost your way. Sir Halligan is expecting results, and from what I've gathered, you still need to learn which side of the store does the stabbing. And where's the rest of your group? Human, excuse us, but you must have confused us with somebody else. We are just travelers, and we're hoping you could spare a moment to talk. Hans. Oh, that's a shame. I really thought you came for sparring lessons. Well, in that case, what do you want to know? Actually, I want to know about the sparring lessons. I do. You mentioned sparring lessons. We might be interested to freshen some skills ourselves. Hans, as long as the other group I'm expecting don't show up, I can find the time for you. However, my services do not come for cheap, you must understand. For, let's say, 8 Ocean. I can teach your friend there how to handle the sword better. I can even show you a few tricks with the staff. What do you say? Sam, as intriguing as your offer sounds, how about you tell us who you are and why we should spend that much coin on training with you? Hans, fair enough. Name is Hans Sandar, although most call me Master Sandar, as I am known to be a master in my art. I was once a captain in Lord Aaron's army, and now I spend my time tutoring those who want to learn the fine art of swordsmanship. Hewan, it's remarkable. As I understand, Lord Aaron is the Duke of Quam. I hear the area is anything but peaceful up there. Hans, as you would come to expect of any border settlement. But more than that, in the last years of my captainship, things were only going for the worst. I wasn't getting any younger, so I asked for an early retirement. In exchange, I agreed to train the king's men when I was asked to. Hewn, sounds like you made a fair deal. Hans, works for me. I keep myself in shape and my old bones away from Quam Keep's drafty walls. Also, I get to spar with many a lord's son, and sometimes even Prince Nicholas himself invites me for a match. So are you interested? Yeah, I am interested, but I think that'd be like the vast majority of my money at this point. Hewan, I'm sorry, but we need to pass on the offer. Maybe another time. Hans, as you wish, you know where to find me. On our way. Yep. Once again, Betrayal of Krondor. Is it getting tiresome me mentioning Betrayal of Krondor? But yeah, they had many people you could meet who could train you in various skills for a price, of course. They knocked and waited. After a few long moments, an old lady opened the door and invited them inside. The lady introduced herself as Marith, and for the better part of an hour they talked, exchanged news and gossip. Hewan learned that she used to be a cook in the manorial kitchen, and in the years she worked there, she got to know his mother very well. Teary-eyed, she also shared that her husband George died just a couple of months prior, and their visit was very welcome, since she had no one to really talk to anymore. At last, when they were done talking, she asked them if they could wait a moment, and disappeared into the kitchen. In a few minutes, Marith emerged from the back carrying 2 small packs, one for each of the boys, and she also pressed a pouch of herbs into— oh, there we go, herbs, thank goodness. She also pressed a pouch of herbs into Hewan's hand. Just a bit of honey bread and nuts for the road. Oh, you needn't have, Hewan said, but Marith dismissed him with a wave. You two be careful traveling the roads. All manner of no folk prey on travelers these days. May Terratinum watch over you. Promised to be careful, thanked Marith for the gift, and bade her goodbye. Alright. I'm gonna save that. Let's see. How many? Wow, she gave us a lot of rations, actually. Wait, where are the herbs? Where are the herbs? I don't see any herbs. Is that like in a separate spot? Maybe it's in the rest screen. That makes sense. Let's see. Can't cap in town. Yeah. So I guess we're not in Seattle. Let's try here. Nope. Maybe by the waterfall. Ooh, yeah. Be a nice place to. Oh wow. Interesting. These are cool options for camping. This is not in Betrayal of Krondor, but it looks like you can possibly get jumped. I'm gonna hope that this area is safe enough, but I don't. Yeah, I still don't see the herbs. I still don't see the herbs. Let me see. Maybe it's in the magic. Oh, I can heal myself. Let's try that. There we go. All right. Did that do it? Did that? All right. Oh, well, this is nice. This is like, yeah. Betrayal of Krondor was much more stingy with their healing. There wasn't like a proper healing spell in. You could only like transfer your health between the caster and another character, or I guess you could, memory serves, you could steal the health of enemies. This is just a straight up heal. It's convenient. It's the Noma, the farmer with the missing wife. So don't need to open his door. Actually, no. Well, maybe that's a side quest in the full game. It seemed like it had significance to it, but I don't see anything in the journal for it. So we'll just continue south. That's where we're supposed to go. Knock on doors along the way. We were invited into the small house. After explaining they were travelers on their way to Avenor, Ranimid, the head of the farmer family, offered them a place to sit next to the fire pit. We were just about to have breakfast, said his wife, then added, Ter Tanon has been generous this year, so food is plentiful. We'll be happy to share. Ewan welcomed the warm food he'd been given, and readily emptied his plate. It would be nice to hear news from the outside, Ranimid said, between one mouthful and the next. We used to have visitors now and then, but these days they rarely stop to have a chat. Everyone seems to be in a hurry. Ewan spent a good part of the hour recounting what he knew, and whenever the story got too dull to Sam's liking, the light-haired rogue promptly added all sorts of embellishments to the tale. He even sung one of his songs, which amused Sarah, Ranimid's wife, to no end. When they were done, Sarah addressed Sam. Now, that was quite a tale. Next time you visit Romar, I'd love to hear you sing another one. Sam accepted the compliment with a broad smile, and together with Ewan, they rose and thanked them for the hospitality. As they walked towards the door, Ranimir said, Ranimir, sure, said, good luck on your travels, boys. If you haven't been to our temple, you should really do so. Perhaps talk to the priestess while you're there. Thank you, Ranimir. Thank you, Ranimir. We spoke to the priestess already, Ewan replied. "'Twas a most unnerving experience," Sam had, shuddering at the thought of the encounter. Again, they thanked them for their hospitality and left. I wonder if there's any concept of hunger in the game. There's a little canyon to explore. Gotta go wandering off into places that I really shouldn't. You can find the Call of Saregnar equivalent to a riddle box. Always love those riddle boxes in Betrayal at Krondor. Here's where we fought the bandits. If there's anything else of interest around here, there's that grave. Bird sounds. Just like, yes, all together now, just like Betrayal at Krondor. This is apparently made in Unity. I'm quite impressed. Foggy. These weather effects are quite cool. And a day-night cycle in Betrayal at Krondor, but no weather. Alright. They knocked and waited. Ewan was already leaving when a weak female voice called from within. "Please, come in," was all she said. They entered the house and found a middle-aged woman tending to a man lying on a straw pallet. She explained how her husband caught a fever 3 nights earlier and has grown worse as time passed. "I barely slept since," she said, tears gathering in her eyes. "I don't know what to do." Ewan approached and looked at the pale figure of a man. "If there's anything we can do, perhaps we can help." "Would you, sir?" The woman looked at him pleadingly, then at her man. "He needs a healer, and I don't dare leaving him alone," she added. "Do you know where we can find a healer? At the Temple of Ter Tanan, perhaps?" Ewan asked. "They wouldn't lift a finger to help us. Some ridiculous family feud between Philip's late father and the temple. They won't help us," her words faltered. "I'm sure we can find some way to help him. Perhaps there's another healer around the village or something." Ewan said reassuringly, "We'll be back soon." The woman took Ewan's hand into her own. "Honor's blessings." Ewan nodded, smiling uncertainly. Then they left and gently closed the door. Okay. I don't need to go all the way back to the place I was at. Is there another village nearby? I want to run all the way back there again. Maybe this is a side quest we could for the finished game. Ooh, I can't. This is gonna get me in trouble. It seemed unoccupied. "Shall we take a peek inside?" Hewitt said. "Yes, of course." Hewitt opened the tent flap. The inside was damp and smelled musty, its owner probably long gone. Still, he searched inside in hope of uncovering something of interest. Oh. Some coins. Hell yeah. Torch. The rations are spoiled. See, allow me to talk about Betrayal at Krondor again. See, this was a cool aspect of the game, is that you'd have rations, you could have spoiled rations, which you don't want to eat, or you could have poisoned rations, which you really don't want to eat. And all you have to do is just kind of, like, all you have to do is just look. You just have to look. Like, you don't have to, like, do anything special, like cast a particular spell or anything. You just have to look. So I'll take the torch. What is this now? Note. Okay. Take note. Let's see here. Let's read the note. Oops. Okay. "The locals were all taciturn about the cave's whereabouts, but I found it anyway. I cleared the brush surrounding the entrance and took a quick look inside. Sadly, I only have a few torches with me, and those fools in Romar won't sell me any, so I won't be venturing anywhere deep. Running out of light in there would be a death sentence. Okay, cool. Sounds like there's a cave, like a dungeon. I'm down for that. Where is it, though? Gotta be nearby, right? Didn't really, like, clear the bush surrounding the entrance. It seems like there... Sounds like there was some brush. Should look for some brush. Over here. Aha! Alright. Okay, save the game. I got some torches. Fair amount of torches. Let's take a look. I don't know. Who should carry the rations? I don't know. Save the game. Looks like the entrance to a cave of some kind, Ewan said. Shall we go and have a look inside? Yeah, sure. I mean, there's no good reason for us to do this, but let's do it anyway. Light the torch. Yeah. Creepy. Whoa. Creepy music starting. Hello? Anyone in here? Oh. See a body. Poor guy. Oh, spoiling rations. Money never spoils. What killed him? Ooh, that looks interesting. It's not this way, though. Nothing. Okay. Ooh, some sort of ruins. An ethereal voice reverberated in the chamber. Dias mani, kalani, ziete, ostranjam, vestidume. Urging Sam to put the knife he produced away, Hewn in front of the shrine and signaled to his friend to do the same. Vestimen, Hewn whispered, then lightly placed his index and middle finger on his forehead. Sam awkwardly mimicked the motion. Here are 2 gifts for you, Osmani, the voice said in the common tongue. Then after a moment of silence, it spoke again. Faith and devotion is commendable, so I bind to you and grant you my eternal favor. While you may not realize it yet, your need of me shall be great. We will meet again. Just as it came, the voice echoed into nothingness. Sam. Hugh? What? Who was that? Closing his eyes, Hewan took a deep breath and held it in. He let the newfound channel to the god of magic seep intoxicating power into his being. He drew it in, drank from it, made it part of him until the flow stopped and the balance was reached on both ends. Silmianis was his, and he was Silmianis's. At last, he released that breath and uttered a short prayer. Hewan. Silmianis. Vestihime. Yastie. Esmin. Esmin. Sam. Silmianis? You're talking weird again. Human. Gods rarely come through this clearly outside of dreams, especially to those not versed in magic. You should be honored for this visit. Sam. Don't look at me like that, Hugh. You know godly affairs make me uncomfortable. And on top of that, I have no idea what just happened, so you better explain. What just happened is that Silmianus, the god of magic, has addressed me. Addressed us. For some reason, he has granted me his eternal favor. I can channel spells through him now. Sam. So I imagine that's one gift. What about the other one? Ewan. Respect for the gods will be your end, friend. Sam. One day, perhaps. At least now I know to stay clear of big holes in the ground. Can we go now? Ewan. What's your hurry? Let's have a look around first. Okay, sounds neat. It's an extraordinary. While exploring a natural cave near Romar, we discovered an ancient shrine dedicated to Silmianus, the god of magic himself. He spoke to me, to us, and he granted me his favor. What killed that guy, though? Did he just, like, go too far into the cave and then lost or something? Here's a chest, though. The chest was gilded and ornate, the wooden parts uncorrupted by the elements. Do we open it? Do we open it? Ewan said, licking his lips nervously. Hell yeah! Ooh. Spell scroll, mind light. Ooh. Very cool. Spell scroll. I'll take that. That's, I assume that's how I learn new spells. Only had 2 spells so far, so this is good. Ewan untied the colored ribbon from the scroll and began to read. The incantation was rather complex, but eventually he committed the spell to memory, as if acknowledging his newfound knowledge. A cool flame engulfed the scroll, turning it to ash. Ooh. Let's take a look. Mind light allows the caster and those nearest to him to see in the dark. Okay. Too bad that explorer didn't get that spell. He could have used it, looks like. Surprised there's nothing dangerous in this cave. Aside from a potentially wrathful god. Well, this trip into the cave was it was all upside. I'll have to remember to do that when the full game comes out. Yeah. I suppose that Louis farmer did expect us to go back to the... Ooh, that looks like it might be an enemy. Let's see. A single enemy stood in the distance. While very unsure of his observations, he still believed they'd be facing a somewhat skilled opponent. Let's be swift about it and surprise him. This should be over soon, he said. I'm not sure who is he here. That's... Okay. Let's go get him. Oh no. Ah, no. Dang it, my wizard just got healed. Do not need him to go down again. That. Alright, time to cast some magic. Earn. Ow. Just kind of trading nicks here. This is kind of a strategy from Betrayal at Krondor, at least. I'm not sure if this is exactly correct in this game, but you can just kind of take a breather. Yeah, I see it. It's getting my endurance back so I can cast more magic. Which I think I'm going to want to do, because my fighter guy is not really doing a whole lot. Let's hit him with a lot. Earn. pretty well done for. I'm gonna do a death of 1,000 cuts here to this guy. Oh man, I can't even hit him anymore. There we go. Hewen stood in silence just moments before the enemy was trying to kill him, and now that same enemy lay at his feet. It was over. And then we loot. Ooh, armor, yes. This looks like the sword's in good condition. Rations are fine. Let's take those. Alright. Yep. Same sword, just in much better condition. We'll wear that armor. See, standard soldier armor. Save the game. What's this? Oh. Ooh. Got a chest here. It smelled badly. Hewen searched through the contents with disgust and gave up after a minute or so. Nothing in here, he said. Okay, but what about this chest? It was no ordinary chest. Examining the massive iron-bound box, Sam spied the brass plate on the front. Curiously enough, a riddle was inscribed on it, most probably in case the owner forgot the combination. Whatever the reason, the curiosity to see what the chest held inside quickly took over, and he began pondering on the word that would open the tightly sealed lid. Excellent, excellent. Riddle chests, riddle chests. Love it. I love the riddle chests in Betrayal at Krondor. Always fun to find a new one. I sit up high, I shine with the best. Wars have been fought to decide where I rest. Though through bloodlines I travel, though move I do rarely. Heavy I weigh upon he who wears me. I'm gonna say... heavy is the crown. Money, I'll take it. Excellent, excellent. I love riddles. I love riddles, actually. I mean, I just generally love riddles, especially ones that I can solve. What's this? Sam, I got a feeling we are being watched. Human. Yes, in a way. This was a temple once. A holy presence dwells within these ruins, but it is faint. Sam, like a god? Human. Yes. If the temple wasn't desecrated, but was simply abandoned, a god would still reside here. His influence, however, would have diminished substantially if those who prayed to him left. A moment. Hewen knelt on the marble floor and closed his eyes in concentration. After nearly an hour of Sam pacing back and forth, Hewen stood up, shaking his head. Sam, you call that a moment? What were you doing anyway? Hewen, I tried to contact him. He is a god, but his mind is so chaotic. I was constantly losing hold. Perhaps if I stayed here for a day or two, I might get an understanding of his nature. Sam, to what end? Hewen, I believe he is seeking help. I can't figure out what he wants. If I can help him, we might get a favor in return. What do you say? We make camp? You know what? Sure, why not? I got like plenty of rations. Just save the game. Let's try it. Sam, feels like a waste of time to me, but I'm sure you know what you're doing, Hugh. I'll go pitch my tent. No jokes. No jokes about him pitching his tent. 2 days have passed. During that time, Hewen spent day and night in deep meditation, taking no breaks to drink nor eat, while Sam attempted to wake him from the trance repeatedly, but to no avail. Resigning to the fact that it's better to leave Hewen in peace, Sam took care of the camp, foraged for food, did whatever he could to keep boredom at bay. Finally, on day 2, Hewen awoke with a cough. Sam ran to him and helped him to his feet. Hugh, are you all right? Hugh, how long was I out? Sam, 2 days. I was ready to knock you out of it with a club, but thankfully you woke up first. Ewan, 2 whole days. I swear it felt like an hour and a half at most. Sam, so, learned anything in your little adventure? Ewan, not much to be honest. I'm struggling to make any sense out of it. What I spoke to, or at least what remained of him, was so fragmented and incoherent it proved nearly impossible to understand. However, even though I wasn't able to learn his purpose, I learned his name, Tevan Drosh. He's certainly one of the greater 18 we know of today. I have the feeling he was an important deity at the time of the Arnui. Sam, day before yesterday you said he was seeking help. Ewan, indeed. He is seeking his long-lost identity. Sam, great, so we're dealing with a forgetful god. I suppose we don't get any reward out of this, do we? Ewan, no, but if we find out who this god was, learn his history, I'm sure he'll be thankful. Sam, Reese could know something about him. Ewan, indeed. If they don't, the library at Suvith is sure to hold the answer. Interesting. That sounds like an interesting little side quest. What are we approaching here? Avonmore. That's where I'm going. I'm going to Avonmore. It's like I'm about a third of the way there. Wow. You know, it's night. I should probably rest for the night. Yeah. Hope we don't get jumped by bears. Okay. Not have one of those little king's drinking cups or whatever. Here. What do we got here? Sam, this road leads south towards Avonmore, but I think this is as far as Dina will allow me to go in the demo. Fourth wall broken. Cuban, I know what you mean. She can be mean like that. Sam, oh Dina. That's just how it is. Okay. Well, alright. I don't think I've quite done everything that's possible. Let me take a short break and I'll consider if I want to keep going with the demo or maybe we should just move on or even, move on to something else. Yeah. So I'm going to take a quick break. Let's go to my right back screen. We got some screenshots from the game, and I will turn on some Krondor tunes. And I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. After consideration, I think what we're gonna do is I'm sure there are some more things we could do in the demo. I think I will actually save that for the full game. And for now, we're gonna start. I was planning on starting just some playtime on, not a full playthrough necessarily, but some playtime on Betrayal at Krondor on Saturday. But why not get started right now? Yeah. But first, before I do that, though, I did want to do one thing. I wanted to shout out a couple of streamers that are big Betrayal at Krondor fans, also, just like myself. Actually, you know what? Let me start with one of my favorite streamers and a big inspiration for me, Dr. CDCS, who streamed this game over a big chunk over the last year, and I had a lot of fun with that. I had a lot of fun watching him there. So we're gonna give him a shout out. I'm sure everyone, well, maybe not everyone watching this is familiar with him, but I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with him already. Also, someone streaming Betrayal at Krondor right now is a big like a godfather of the whole retro gaming streaming, I don't know, movement, community, what is it? I don't know. But Kilgore Trout was streaming Betrayal at Krondor right this moment. Finally, someone I met in during Dr. CDCS's playthrough, someone who's a big fan of Betrayal at Krondor and is a big part of the 30th anniversary celebrations this weekend. So if you're interested in that, you should definitely give her a follow. It's Goldie Thoughts. Give her a follow. If you're interested in the 30th anniversary celebrations, because I understand she did some interviews and stuff, so that could be really cool. So we'll see about that. All right. Yeah. Let me think. Oh yeah, I need to change some stream stuff. Here. Change the title, change the category. Go with Betrayal at Krondor this time instead of simply retro. Let's see here. Oops. Let me think here. Not long play. I take long play out of my tags. We are not long playing. Not today. Should I put a content classification on this? I don't know if necessary. Yeah. Okay. I think that should do it. All right, let's get started. Turn off Betrayal at Krondor soundtrack so we can listen to Betrayal at Krondor soundtrack. Monsters portrayed by costume construction. Great work by them. Let's get started. We turn the music down. I think I'll have to manually do that. Wait, actually, it's still loud for me, so gotta do it. That's too quiet. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Alright, start new game. Chapter 1, Into a Dark Night. Blood-soaked rags collected at the boy's feet. One by one, he tended the wincing soldier's purple wounds, stitched, celled, bandaged, did what little he could in the leaping golden halo of firelight. Fortunately for his roadside patient, he could do more than most. Fingers slick with alum ointment, he worked fervently to tie off a catgut cord, then brushed the injury with a light touch that to the untrained eye would seem only a friendly pat. Others would recognize the telltale hand gesture as a magical ward against infection. Done. Owen sighed, wiping his hand in a rust-colored cloth. No guarantees, though. The stitches may hold all the way to the butt. Then again, push too hard and you could be bleeding like a stuck pig on Midsummers. You did. Fine, Senior Locklear. Locklear replied, smiling approval before rolling down his sleeve. It'll scar, but it's good for our noble's reputation. Lets the kingdom folk know he isn't resting on his laurels, and it impresses the ladies. I'll be sure to look you up in Tyburn if ever I need stitching up again. The boy accepted the compliment with a humble nod while he packaged away the rest of his medical supplies. His thoughts focused instead on a third man who slumped in the shadows across from him. Despite the manacles that bound the stranger's hands, and the distance that separated them, the boy felt dreadfully exposed. His avenues of escape limited should Locklear's elven-looking prisoner decide to liberate himself. What did he do? Owen whispered, jerking his head towards the man. Gorath? Let's just say that he had the disadvantage of being at the wrong place at the wrong time, Locklear said cautiously. He snatched a greenish apple out of his knapsack, offering one to Owen. I have to take him to Krondor. Did he kill someone? Owen asked. No. He attacked you. Senior wiped apple juice from his mouth, shook his head. No, not exactly. Well, who cut you up then? Before Locklear could reply, Gorath leapt forward, his chains writhing between his wrists like metallic vipers. Get out from under... Let me think. Probably should give Gorath a different voice. Get out from underfoot, Owen. Assassin in the camp. Do not struggle so, Hassith. I wish to keep you alive. But be glad I do not. The goddess of death will show you greater mercy. Ooh. So we are introduced to our two original characters, and arguably the main characters of the story. Actually, I never finished my thought earlier in Call of Saregnar. I'm just looting the body here. About flight simulators and learning about this game. So I can't even recall why exactly I was into World War II flight sims at the time. I mean, I guess maybe it's a little self-explanatory, huh? World War II flight sims are kind of cool. So Dynamics had Aces, I think it was Aces of the Pacific first, and then Aces over Europe later. Let me just remind myself, what is the quick save? Oh yeah, it's just bookmark. That's right. Well, let's just save. I made some directories. Um, advance. I don't know if I'll get to chapter 3, but we'll see. Um, start. Start. Okay. Yeah. So I had those games. I had read I had read Feist's first books, yeah, at least through Rift War. So yeah, actually I I think I'm kind of a little more oops. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Never mind. Gorath seemed distant, though the Moradel warrior didn't appear grieved about killing the assassin that had followed them from the Northlands. His eyes had a baleful look in them that seemed something between hatred and rage. Several times he glanced back at the corpse that lay behind him in the dust, his thoughts unguessable from his expression. Do you wish to bury him? We could do that. It is not our way. I simply am somewhat disturbed that he should come after me. He was kinsman. There are other things that trouble me as well. Delicon's assistants are slow, but not altogether stupid. Another like Hasseth, and you'll only have my corpse to drag before your Prince Aruta. Sorry, you don't get off that easy. As long as you are under my command, you are forbidden to die, Moradel. I've gone to far too much trouble keeping you alive to bury you now. It's time that we took the chains off you. It'll be far easier for you to defend yourself if your hands are free to swing a sword again. You're not just going to set him free, are you? I thought you said he was your prisoner. He is my prisoner, Owen, but the circumstances are terribly complicated. Even if he chooses to sneak off, he'd be lucky to make it to the next town alive. This is the third such assassin we've run into since we left the Northlands, and I have a feeling that more will be waiting for us. He will be much safer with me and I with him. As the boy would be, if he were to whisper the wrong word in the wrong ear, he could easily be the death of us. Me? Who am I going to talk to? I'm not even heading in the same direction. It wouldn't be a matter of who you talk to, Owen. There will be ears listening for word of a Moradel traveling with the noble. Damnation! I should have done this when you entered camp. For the time being, you're my squire. Once we arrive safely at the palace, you'll be free to go your own way. But I have pressing business in Tyburn. This is not subject of debate. We must get to Krondor. My mission is of critical importance, and I don't have time to improvise an easy solution. The only other possible option would be to slit your throat and leave you dying. I have absolutely no desire to do that. Now let's get moving before Delacon's assassins catch our scent again. They'll likely come looking when Hasseth doesn't return from his mission. Yeah. So as I was saying, I had read Feist's books and was a fan, and I was also a fan of Dynamics' flight sim games. So I think it was probably in Aces Over Europe that got their like catalog, for upcoming releases. If I remember correctly. Yeah, and I saw a game based on Feist's novels. I was like so in. I was like so very excited about that. So I guess apparently the floppy disk version didn't do that great, but that's the version I had. I was an early adopter on Betrayal at Krondor. I'm very rarely an early adopter these days, at least. Wow, there's like maybe able to hear some birds at least. Very quiet. But yeah, maybe I should explain the game a little bit. I had forgotten about this until Dr. CDCS was watching his playthrough again. I'm not sure I actually even realized this, but apparently you're supposed to like pick the skills you want to advance, and if you choose like the less you choose, the faster they'll advance. Um, you want to have some, I mean, there's certain skills that you definitely want, like for Locklear, who's a warrior type. You definitely want him to, increase his defense and his accuracy in either ranged or melee. Um, these other skills, you want like stealth. Stealth is also useful. That allows you to ambush the enemy. Um, so that might be a good one to keep on. Owen is a spellcaster, so you don't really necessarily need to worry too much about melee. He can't use crossbows at all. You still want defense. You definitely want your casting to get better. I think I'm not really sure. I wish I knew. I think probably your stealth is probably your group is probably based on the worst person with the worst stats. So that's what I'm guessing. And then I'll do the same here. Oh, I could be focusing on. Actually, I'm not even sure how many of my people. Fourth doesn't even have a crossbow. No one has a crossbow. So no point in focusing on that skill at the moment. That's kind of a quick save there. Bookmarking. Someone was calling. Recognizing the lilt of the young voice, Owen turned and looked back down the road. A young squire that he had met at a party in Yabon was trudging behind them, a pack full of scrolls slung over his shoulder. The squire waved congenially, and Owen echoed the motion. What do you think you're doing? We are trying to remain unnoticed. Damn. Buckley muttered under his breath. Try to behave as normally as possible. Since you know him, you handle him, Owen. And remember, Gorath's name is Thorgath, Owen finished, irritated. I'm not a child, you know. Locklear whispered. That remains to be seen. Owen. I didn't expect to see you again quite so soon. I would have thought you all the way to Labette by now. Squealing Philip. Would have been if the Duchess hadn't insisted in introducing me to all of her daughters. Amelia was the prettiest, I believe, though I think Catherine took quite a liking to you. Catherine took a liking to everyone at the party. She's as fickle as her mother. She'll likely marry a Krondor if she can find one not tied in a marital knot. True enough. Say, I thought you said you were from Tyburn. Why are you taking this route home? Kind of a long way around, isn't it? Slut shaming? More like, I'd say like, what is the phrase? Shoot, what is the phrase? Uh, a flirt. I mean, not just a flirt, but like a serial flirt. I know that's not the phrase. I can't think of it right now. I think they're kind of actually implying she's more of a social climber, trying to get in, trying to get the best possible match, so to speak. Social butterfly. Yeah, well, that too. Well, yes, but I had to meet up with my Uncle Locklear here, and my other friend here is an elf, Thorgath. They decided that it would be nice for me to take a tour with them down to Gold Digger. Well, yeah, I mean, it's not. Uh, that's like the modern equivalent, certainly, but I think in kind of a monarchical system here, um, it's probably preferable to snag a noble that's just comfortable, as opposed to a very wealthy merchant. But I guess it depends on the person. Hawks Hollow. Down to Hawks Hollow. I hear it's lovely at this time of year. What are you up to? I'm looking to cash in a reward, actually. When I was on my way up to Yabun last month, I found a chest in this area, but I couldn't pick the lock on the thing. I figured it wasn't meant to be, and I left off. Thing is, all through the Duchess's party, I couldn't help but think about it. A chest on the brain. I don't really care what's in it, but I have to pick that lock. Let's talk about the nearest town. I'm afraid my senses of direction and distance are a bit off right now. We all had a bit to drink last night, and we're still trying to shake off the effects. Which way is the nearest place we could get cleaned up? Must have been quite a bender if you're that confused. Head straight south along the main road, and that will take you on into Lamut. If you're looking for good food, the Blue Wheel is a solid wager. But I warn you, their Serrani food can be a bit spicy. Inns. I, for one, could do with a little less sleeping on the ground. Any good inns that you can recommend? There's the Blue Wheel in Lamut, or you might try the Dusty Dwarf in Hawks Hollow. I suppose if you got really desperate, you could try breaking into one of the abandoned houses out in that part of the country, but I can't sleep well in a house that may fall on top of me. Of course, it may well be that the people have moved out for good reasons. I've heard that several people south of L'Oreal moved out after a contagion began spreading near there. Uh-oh. Was anything left behind in any of the abandoned houses you saw? Nothing of real value. Bits of food in a few cupboards, an occasional gold piece kicked beneath the foundation of the house. Lost items, mainly. The majority of the places I visited had those unpickable locks. What are they called? Weber locks. Yes. They had the Weber locks installed, and so I wasn't able to get inside. Isn't that convenient? Unpickable locks. So, there's the explanation. Any door you can't get, like any building you can't get into, they've got a Weber lock. You just can't pick it. Don't even try. Lost items. I'm not certain, but I think I may have mislaid a very valuable belonging of mine. I shouldn't worry about it. Depending on where you lost it, the chances are good it will still be there. Just explaining some functionality of the game there. You can drop things, and chances are, when you come back, they'll still be there. I think we should look for that chest. Squire Philip was looking for is probably behind one of these hills. Here's the graphics that a flight simulator engine will get you. Wait, is this the chest he was talking about? We're right there. Oh wait, this is a riddle chest. Gora scanned the runes embossed on the Moradil clue plate. Its text their only hope of opening the difficult word lock. So these are Moradil chests. So the only way you can read it is if you read Moradil. Fortunately, we have a Moradil in our group, so we can read it. Prince Arutha from his lofty perch will find our troops without a search. His men will fall, his castle too, and then what will Prince Arutha do? I don't know, negotiate? Oh, he'll die. Prince Arutha will die. This was meant to be an easy riddle to solve, but it may not have been so obvious to people not familiar with the lore. Let's see here. Weapons are in good condition. Armor is not. So we're going to give our frontline fighters the armor in the best condition. Owen, what remains? It's fine. I'm going to hope he doesn't. Oh, no. It says OBS is disconnected. Are we back? Okay, I think we're back. All right. Oh, oh, my mouse seems to be going crazy now. Cut it out. Okay, seems fine. All right. Yeah, so as I was saying, it may not be so obvious to people who hadn't read the books and aren't familiar with the lore that the Moradel do not like Prince Arutha. This must be the chest he was talking about. See if we can. Yeah. Let's see. Who do I want picking locks? Actually, another thing is this is kind of a pain, but it's a good idea when you're picking locks. You just like I said about the skills, just unselect all this stuff and just select lockpick. I think that should get you the quickest advancement. So we're gonna have Locklear. He's the best lock picker. He's the best picker, and he did it. Excellent. A good suit of armor. That's good. Shells. They're kind of just junk, but you can sell them for a bit of money. We'll upgrade our armor here. All right, where am I going? That's the question. Where am I going? That's kind of like an eternal question. Let's go to Lamont. Eternal question in this game because it's very open. It's very open. Actually, let's look at the map because I can tell you this is here in chapter 1. Your goal is here, Krondor. But you can actually go like, whew. Actually, I think you can go like everywhere in the kingdom. This is like the Moradal lands up here. You can't get up there, but I'm pretty sure even here in chapter 1, you can go all over this whole area, which is pretty big. I mean, I guess you can't really get a sense of it from it being a map without any scale, but yeah, it's pretty big. You can't get over here either. These are like the Elven Forest and Dwarven Mountains. You can't get there just yet. But yeah, this is a huge amount of space. You do not have to go to Krondor. In fact, you kind of can't even get to Krondor like directly. Mm, There are there are obstacles in your way that make it kind of difficult to go straight there. So, but yeah, you can go around. You can get into fights, find treasure, um, like visit towns, visit shops in the towns. You can do a lot of stuff in chapter 1 while completely ignoring the story. Let's see if we can get to Lamont. Is this the road to Lamont? Maybe? Yes. Ooh, nighttime. Oh, wow. You know what? I kind of forgot. Or maybe I wasn't even aware. It's got a different image for nighttime. That's pretty cool. Or am I mistaken? I don't know. Yeah. Let's see. Let's try like the fort. Oh wait, let's read this first. In many ways, the town looked like something created on an alcoholic binge. Rude dwarven shacks smashed up against delicate elven shops, while weird Sarani taverns grew from oppressive kingdom-style dwellings. A sign outside the city gate had summed it up well. All who visit Lamut are equal, for in Lamut all is equally queer. I don't know if that description aged well, but that's okay. We'll visit the fort. Guard met them at the gate. By the color of his skin and the musical way he spoke, the man seemed to have a Sorani background. It was also possible he was originally Keshian by nationality. Staring at them dispassionately, he barred their way. No entry, the guard said, shaking his head. You may come back at daybreak. We were just looking to... No entry, the guard replied. No exceptions. The shop's closed. Yeah, the shop is closed. Huh. Nice detail. They really committed to the day-night cycle that they had in this game. But let's talk to this guy. A table was cleaned for them. Sitting down on a splintered bench across from the man, Locklear shared a bit of the mercenary's bread as he listened to a story about a failed love affair with a married woman. As the story progressed from a sentimental recounting to a drunken blubber, it became evident the man had no intention of finishing the tale anytime soon. That's terrible, Locklear intoned around a mouthful of bread, his attention fixed instead on the wooden boards behind the mercenary's head. Awful. Tragic. Ah, there you are, the steward said, laying a heavy hand on Gorath's shoulder. Are you lads still going to help me carry in those bags, like we talked about? Initially at a loss, but suddenly understanding they had been rescued, Locklear clapped his hands together. Yes, of course. If our drinking companion will forgive the absence. Clearly, the man looked up at them and nodded, waving for someone to come and fill his cup. Okay, let's talk with the barmaid. Just selling alcohol and food, rations. I don't think we need any of that right now. Let's talk to this here dwarf. The dwarf drew on his pipe. Languid smoke plumed from the old codger's mouth as he studied Locklear. Owen and Gorath each in turn. Although he had long ago lost the use of his left eye to a mortal sword stroke, his right eye still burned brightly beneath his bushy eyebrows. Will unlock. Being as a dwarf never forgets as much as his own name, I recognize a strapping young man before me who last I saw was a boy. Locklear, no slight intended. I fear I don't recall the occasion. Dougal unlock. As like the rest of your human kin, none among you can remember much past a week. If not for we canny dwarves, you would have forgotten you have a kingdom at all. I fetched you out of a cellar along with a score of women folk at the Battle of Setanon. Don't you remember me, Lucky? Locklear. Dougal, of course. Glad to see you. I hadn't recognized you without the eye patch. Dougal unlock. What's a dwarf to do? I won the scratch fair and square, and I'll be a dragon's mother before I cover it up again. Shouldn't have done so in the first place. Now I just sit here to jabber with that loon or Sarand's bartender and have me a few beers. I think my accent's slipping. Not much to do. Mac Morden Kadal all collapsed. Ragnar has been seen down there. They'll be offering a hefty reward for its slaying. I'll might you if tradition holds, too. Something of a challenge, as they are fierce beasties even by dwarven standards. Locklear. I've heard tales of these creatures of stone. Thank you, Dougal. Okay. Sumani clapped Tice. Abruptly, the festive mood of the room died, the clank of goblets and the scrape of plates falling silent as the bartender shuffled between benches to bow at Locklear's feet. Touching a gnarled fist to his forehead, then to his heart, he spoke somberly. Be welcome to the Blue Wheel Inn. May you find the drinks to your liking, and the company of our patrons pleasurable. If there is anything our servants or I may do, you need only ask Sumani. Locklear. Honors to your house as well, Sumani. Am I correct in believing this a drinking establishment? Sumani. So it is. We serve many of your Bidkamian drinks, as well as a few from the Suranoani Empire as well. Perhaps I might interest you in a cup of choka. Sumani. Locklear. Why did you decide to come to a Bidkamian opening inn anyway? Surely you would get better business on Kellywan. Sumani. It was not always a... Can't keep my accent straight. I was not always a tavern keeper. As a soldier serving House Shinzawa under Earl Kazumi, I was trapped here when the Rift Gate was collapsed at the end of the Rift War. It was our belief that we would never again see our families in Saranwani or the green skies of Kiliwan again. Luckily, but Sarani was. But Sarani warriors traditionally kill themselves if they are in danger of falling captive to an enemy. Sarani, this is true, Lord, but the Earl informed us that we were forbidden to dispatch ourselves until given leave to do so by a great one. I believe in Midcavia you would call such a one a magician. Until such a time, I content myself with running the Blue Wheel Inn. Yes, I think this is, like I mentioned in Call of Saregnar, one of those instances where you can find a tutor. I'm not sure how much money I've got on hand right now, though. But let's see here. Locklear, you said you were a soldier with the Surani forces. Would you be interested in teaching us some of your combat techniques? Sumani, it would be my honor, Lord, but I will require a small fee for my services. If my armor were to be damaged, I would be ill prepared otherwise to pay for its repair. 75 sovereigns should cover any potential harm. Is this fee acceptable? I don't think I have much. Clear. You're asking a bit more than I had in mind. How much can it cost to repair armor? Sumuni, my armor is Surani, and more specifically, I would require someone of the house Shinzawai to repair it. It is the way of my world. But armor repair, I don't know, Locklear, I don't know how much longer our armor is going to last. Any idea where we could get it repaired? Sumani, if your armor was the same as mine, I would suggest trying the garrison, but kingdom armor is made in a different way. I would think perhaps the dwarves in the Macmordain Kadal would be of assistance. I understand from speaking to Dubal that the small ones are gifted when it comes to the manufacture of weapons and armor. Locklear, I've heard that the permanent rift gate to Kellywan is located near here. I was hoping we could get a glimpse of it. Sumani, there would be little to see at the moment. An internal conflict has arisen in the Empire between House Akoma and House Anasati. The Assembly of Magicians have ordered a temporary interruption of transport between the Empire and the Kingdom of the Isles until such time the conflict is resolved. I have been assured the measure is temporary. Now, there's some deep lore here. I believe this is from Mistress of the Empire. Yeah, for sure. The book, the novel, Mistress of the Empire. Thank you for your services, Sumani. You have a wonderful establishment. It's very Surani. Your patronage honors us. Goodbye. I promise if I'm ever in Lamut again, I'll be sure to drop in for a bit of something to eat. And we can talk to Dougal about another matter. The dwarf frowned at him, apparently resolute not to move from his stool for some time. He puffed heartily on his pipe. If you'd be ever so kind, I'd prefer it if you left me unpestered. The dwarf's pipe is a religious matter, and the tavern is temple. Perhaps we can jabber a bit later. Okay, not talking to the dwarf anymore then. Alright, we'll try the barding. Honestly, I think the bad barding in this game is much worse than the bad barding in Call of Saregnar, but you be the judge. How delightfully awful. Owen struggled with the loot, you can say. As soon as he had begun to play, he felt he was not so much playing a song as he was wrestling a beast 100 times his size. Numerous times, numerous times the song eluded him, slipped out of his reach, only to fall into an obscure pit of noise. Out, out, out! The cat tavern keeper urged, yanking the lute from Owen's hands. Be glad this crowd isn't in a worse mood. Give them time to calm down, and then you can come back, but only if you're coming back for food. Yeah, so I guess this makes sense. There's some implication in Call of Saregnar that the Sam character actually had some experience, some learning in musical ways, whereas Owen is the son of a nobleman. There's really no good reason why he should know how to play the lute at all, and even less so, or no more so at least for Gorath and Locklear. This actually, actually kind of messed up. Um, so that was an opportunity to practice. I'm going to leave Lamont now. Why pay for a room when you don't have to? I'm just going to sleep till. Here's my little life hack. Sleep till. Well, this may not work because I wanted to go back into town. But I usually sleep like till right before dawn in this game, where it's enough to see. I don't think it has any I don't think it makes any difference to the characters, but during night I definitely find it hard in this game to see the enemies before running into them or the traps. So I think it's best to either sleep the night or get some sort of source of light if you really must continue it. This game actually has sort of a light system of exhaustion. There reaches a point where if you keep walking, you keep going on, characters will be like, "No, I'm exhausted. We need to sleep." And then I think things start going downhill for you. I'm not sure what the limitation is. I've never tried to walk them to death before. Maybe that'd be something to try this weekend. But anyways, let's go back to Lamont. Hopefully things are open now. Yep, now it's very different. I don't think this was even an option, like examining the riverbank. I remember this, there's some money there. Oh, yeah, I didn't have even nearly enough money for Sumani's training. But yeah. And now it's day, and we can go check out the garrison. The garrison was impressive, sitting high on a hall, if not a hall, sitting high on a hill overlooking Lamut. The military outpost had been constructed years earlier to head off a possible Moradel assault on the western border of the kingdom. They followed a road that snaked through town and up the rocky hill upon which the garrison sat. After speaking with the sentries at the gate, they were led under the fortress's massive iron portcullis. Captain Belford stood as they entered the room. "It's good to see you again. See you once again, Locklear," he said, extending his hand. "I share the sentiment. What news have you? How is Earl Kasumi?" Locklear asked as the men shook hands. They sat in hard wooden chairs as Belford replied. "He's well, but he's off taking care of some business with a few new guards come through the rift from Kellywan. As for the rest of us, we're looking for a group of Grey Warriors from Kellywan who slipped through the rift just before it closed." Locklear looked a little puzzled. "King Liam and Emperor Inchindar granted the Grey Warriors freedom and new status in the kingdom." "Yes, but the agreement doesn't allow for the nationalization of stolen goods. Seems they may have absconded with a valuable ruby from Makala's entourage," said Belford. "Makala? From the Sarani Great One?" Excuse me, this is Owen. "Makala? The Sarani Great One?" Belford smiled. "Yes. He's been talking to Prince Arutha about establishing a permanent rift to encourage trade between the kingdom and Kellywan. He's really throwing his weight around trying to get his ruby back. If you should happen to come across it, bring it back here. He's offering a reward." They thanked him for his information and left. Excuse me. Let's check out the shop. Fletcher's Post. Okay. It's a place for crossbows, which we do not have one at this time. But we could. Let's see, who's the best haggler? Owen is. We could sell this excess sword that we do not need. Well, I guess there's no haggling for selling, huh? Well, I'll accept that. Oh yeah, and this excess armor that we don't need. Might get a better price from like an armor store, but at the tier one armor, like this is like basic, the most basic armor in the game. Everything gets better from here. There's no such thing as armor that's worse than this. So it's not going to be worth a lot. I might as well just take the money. The shell. Yeah, take the money for the shell. Okay. Let's see, anything else of interest? Repairing. I don't need anything repaired. Well, I do need things repaired, but it cost me. Let's see. Oh yeah. Gee, I forgot. I was going to change this so that Owen is focused on barding. And who did I can switch this away from lockpicking now. I'll bookmark. Put the in. Try the barding again. Okay. We'll just keep doing it. Okay. Let's try talking. No, Dwarf doesn't want to talk. Grey Warriors, okay. Luckily, we were up the garrison. We were up at the garrison earlier, and they told us that a group of Grey Warriors stole a pair of rubies. Are the Grey Warriors some kind of special armed forces on Kellywan? Special armed forces. I don't think a medieval warrior would have a concept of special armed forces. Sumani. Special, yes, but not in the way you imagine. The Grey Warriors are men without honor, men whose houses have been destroyed by an opponent house. Such men must live off the land until they die, though I've heard that Mera of the Coma has accepted many such men into her estate. Others have learned that they may be granted freedom if they can reach the kingdom. Many die trying. Where would such men go once they got here? Sumani. Away from the mutt, wherever they might go. Though the members of the garrison here are bound by kingdom law, many of the soldiers still live by Suruli custom, as I do. It is not easy to fight our feelings about the Grey Ones. If indeed these Grey Warriors have stolen rubies, I suggest you seek a man with a tainted honor, Kiefer Elscook in the town of L'Oreal. He is a gem merchant there, out of his home. Now I should make note of this. Because, I know a lot about this game, but I gotta be honest, I do not remember all the details of all the side quests. It'd be nice if I did. Let's see, so this is the Ruby quest. I'm looking for 2 rubies. 2 rubies. And my next lead is Ales Cook in L'Oreal. Merchant. Okay. Might actually get around to doing that on Saturday. It's possible. Locklear. I get the feeling this ruby theft isn't an isolated incident. Sumani. You listen between my words. This is the 6th such theft in the past year. Twice, gems have been stolen near the Assembly of Magicians from Great One Makala's entourage. That would be no simple feat to accomplish, even for a master thief. Whoever it is that is responsible He must fear little if he doesn't fear the wrath of a great one. I would take care following this thief friend. I sense he is very dangerous. I'm afraid it's time we did something. Not soaking up the atmosphere. Things to do. Sumani. I am pleased you chose to visit me. It is my hope you will return again. Locklear. I would say it is a definite possibility, assuming we're ever in Lamont again. Goodbye, Sumani. Let's try partying again. Let's see. Did I get it? Okay. Got some barding skill. Who would be? Okay. Locklear learned something. Orhath learned something. Okay, and thankfully Owen also learned something. Let me bookmark. Let me do that again. This is something you want to do, though. If you play this game, you definitely want to keep at barding. I mean, they're going to toss you out, but they never hold a grudge. They let you come and play again and again. They let you play until you earn money from it. And then once you earn money from it, if you try and play again, they're like, oh, we've already tapped out our budget. So that's how it works. But you can do it again once the chapter advances. That's how this works. So that's why you want to definitely hit as many taverns as possible. In chapter 1, and then in chapter 2, and all that. And then eventually, Owen. Oh, come on. Because my OBS studio is disconnected again. Okay. Looks like we're back. That's getting annoying. What am I paying for? What am I paying for this fiber for? I'm going to keep at the barding. Like I said, there's no reason not to do this, and every reason to do this. Okay, here we go. So this rendition will be slightly better. Fortune smiled. Despite the fact he was stumbling through the chords of This Kingdom Mine, Owen's lack of musical mastery was masked by the raucous noise of the tavern's drunken patrons thumping their mugs to the rhythm of the music. That was interesting, the tavern keeper said. I don't think I've heard that song tortured so much in one evening. You're lucky the patrons are drunk tonight. Against my better judgment, they're demanding I pay you. Here, withdrawing 15 sovereign pieces from a pouch, the tavern keeper passed them over to Owen. And if you'll see if I try that again, yeah. Owen struck the lute. Before you get started, I think you should know we've tapped out our entertainment fund, the tavern keeper said quietly. If you play here, it'll only be for your own amusement. Well, what if I wanted to play for my own amusement? Like I said, you ever play this game, absolutely hit the tavern and hit it hard. Don't take no for an answer until they cough up the cash. And then be sure to visit them again in the next chapter. All right, let's get on to maybe some action. I'd like to find a. There we go. I was just about to say I'd like to find a fight before calling it a night. Let's do that. So I spotted them, and now by clicking on the enemy, I'm attempting to I'm attempting to ambush them, attempting to turn the tables on them. Now they're not going to ambush me at this point, thankfully, but So this is basically a surprise round if you're familiar with that terminology. So if we can stealth, this is going to be a check of the stealth skill. If we can stealth up to them, then we'll get the jump on them and be able to strike before they can do anything. If not, then it's kind of just maybe we'll be first, maybe they'll be first. Yeah, let's get going. Let's get them. Aha! We got surprised. The Mordor warrior turned in surprise. By all appearances, they had caught him completely unaware. If he had anticipated their attack, he certainly had not expected them to be so heavily armed or so formidably skilled. Still, he kept up his guard, and Locklear knew he would give them quite a fight. Just one guy. He's a little magic. This right here is a good thing to use in the early game, or even in the late game, but you have more options in the late game. So let's look at what all we have. So this is what I was talking about in Call of Saregnar. This is transferring health from Owen to one of your other characters. So it depends on Owen being healthy. Invitation. This pulls because enemies can run away in this game. So this kind of pulls them back, prevents them from escaping. And why would you want to do that? Well, you'd want to do that because if they escape, you can't loot them. So that's a problem. I have nothing in that category. I honestly don't know what these symbols mean. I think there's kind of a very loose sort of organization to the spells, I think, but I'm not really sure what exactly it is. But we're going to use Despair Thy Eyes. It says it blinds target for a short time. Kind of, yeah, it's kind of a debuff and maybe like a stun, if I remember correctly. But let's go ahead and do that. Okay, Locklear can't quite get close enough to attack, but we'll get up there in his face. Owen can just rest because he's already done his job. Now, my warriors will attack. Okay, so we have an option here. An interesting aspect of Betrayal is thrusting versus swinging. Thrusting typically is more accurate, is more likely to hit, but swings typically do more damage. So it's kind of a little bit of a choice here. Like, do you want to try and take a greater risk to hopefully end the fight sooner? I see here with Locklear, that's pretty good odds on the swing. So let's go ahead and give it a swing, and he hits. So that's good. Gorath is not as good, at least with this weapon, because this is a human weapon. So we're gonna stick with the thrust. Gorath's a lot stronger though, so you can see he's doing more damage. Battle is won. All right. Some money. Owen's got actually halfway decent suit of I should say an armor in halfway decent shape. Yeah, it's all good. And with that, I wanted to, well, maybe I could find a trap. We'll leave it for next time. Yeah, I keep getting these disconnections, so maybe that's the internet telling me it's time to call it a night. So let's say from here. This is where we will continue. I'm planning to play more Betrayal at Krondor on Saturday in celebration of the 30th anniversary. So yeah, so I'm gonna pick up from here, and yeah, I guess we'll just end things. There's a reminder. We played Call of Saregnar earlier. I was very impressed. Can't wait for finished the finished game. Let me turn on some tunes here for just a moment. Keep on the Betrayal at Krondor. So I've taken Postmortem off the list here, off the schedule. I probably should have discussed this earlier, but so the situation with Postmortem is after the crashes during my last stream, there's not really any problem. I've gotten things back into a situation where um, I've gotten past the crash point. The game still runs. I can stream it, and I can even show the cutscene. And I tried that, not while streaming, but I tried it, through OBS here on my local computer, and I could get through the cutscene. So I should be able to show that um, in game when we get back to it. The bad news is we may not get back to it for a while because I'm going to be after this Betrayal at Krondor stream on Saturday. I'm going to be on a bit of a hiatus. Just things have come up. Nothing bad. I'm just going to be on vacation, and I'm going to be out of town visiting my brother for a while. So I'm just not going to. I mean, I'm just not going to spend much time here at my personal computer here with my streaming setup. I won't be spending much time here for the next month, but I do plan on continuing both streaming and postmortem, because yeah, I mean I'm enjoying postmortem overall. So we will definitely get back to that, and besides that, who knows? Who knows? I'll have to think of another game to play once I get back. As for now, I see that that Kilgore Trout was playing Betrayal at Krondor, so we are definitely going to raid him. Yeah. We'll do that on this um, alarming tune from Betrayal at Krondor. Yeah. So thank you for joining me, and until next time, have a good night. Now we are rating. Oops, I keep doing that. Okay, almost ready to raid, and here we go. All right. Thanks again, and good night.